Everyone, and welcome to Stampin' Chat Live, and welcome to our February release party. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. Tonight I'm really excited because we have presentations by 4 of our illustrators who are going to show you all kinds of beautiful projects that you can make with their new stamps and dies. We have a couple of surprises to share with you tonight, and we have a brand new card kit. So we've got a lot to do, and it's release night. So all these new things are available now at GinaKDesigns.com in the What's New category. Now, before we get started, let's just say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Please release me. Remember that song?
I do.
You do not.
Well, my grandmother loved it.
Okay.
That's why I remember it.
That must be where I heard it.
How are you?
I'm good. Hey, everybody, better than horrible. Welcome to the dead space and the bright space.
Yes, the bright space. It's back here hiding behind the cards.
Yes.
Well, are you ready for tonight's release?
I don't know.
Well, I am.
We'll see.
Well, let's get started right away with what's free. We have a brand new incentive set tonight that I think you guys are going to love. I showed it in our Facebook group, but for those of you who aren't in our Facebook group, let's take a look at it. This is the brand new Let's Celebrate. Let's take a look here. I meant to take this out of the package earlier. Let me grab it here. Look at this stamp set. Isn't this adorable? So you've got this beautiful wreath with roses, flowers, and leaves. And then you have a larger Let's Celebrate that you can stamp in the center, and then you can add any one of these greetings. Let's celebrate your big day, your wedding, your birthday, your retirement, or even let's celebrate you. That could be for anything. And it's got a coordinating die set that you can purchase separately if you want, and it cuts out the middle as well, which I love. I love that it cuts out both the outside and the inside, so you can create lots of depth and dimension with this. And you can even turn this wreath into a shaker wreath if you want, which would be so much fun. I love that idea. And this set is yours free. This stamp set is yours free with any purchase of $75 or more in retail product. That's before taxes or any shipping charge, depending on where you live. $75 in product. You don't have to do anything to get it. It will automatically ship. What will happen is we will take a look at the total before any taxes or shipping is added, and if that equals $75, we'll take this stamp set and we'll staple it right to your invoice, and then it will get sent off to our picking and shipping department, and it will automatically arrive in your mailbox. So that is just so exciting. I love this set. I can't wait to play with it. This is definitely one I want to make a card with this upcoming month. Love it. All right, so there's our new incentive set. Now, I do want to show you one more thing, because I know a lot of you just run right over and you just grab the things that you want, but this is something that you might miss. So we have something brand new tonight that is one of our many surprises. Take a look at this. These are our brand new baby blending brushes. Aren't they so cute? They are detailed brushes. And I tried a lot of brushes to see what I enjoyed, and I really enjoy these because let me just pull these out of the package. Look at these tiny little short nubby bristles, and they are super soft. They are the same soft hair as our large and small blending brushes, or our regular and small blending brushes. And they're nice and nubby, if you know what I mean. So you can really get in there with your ink pad and you can get into very small areas. So these come in a 4-pack. Now the handle is a wooden handle. I believe that's wood. It may be a plastic coated wooden handle. I don't know. It feels more like wood to me. It's nice and thick. Whatever it is, it's nice and thick. When I had my brush person send me samples, there were some that were very light and they felt plasticky, and this one feels a little bit more like wood, but it may be a compressed plastic, but you're going to love the way it feels. It's super soft in your hand and easy to hold, almost like a pencil. But you're going to love these, and when you feel them, you're going to feel the difference in this high quality hair that we've chosen for this. And I tried them at a lot of different lengths too. In fact, I'm going to show you, because I know people don't really always believe me, and they think that we don't do our research. So the first sample they made for me was this, and I was like, nah. That was almost as wonky as it was big, you know, and it was kind of like our small blending brushes. I mean, it wasn't getting any details at all. And I hated the color. I'm like, that is not the Gina K white. So we went through a lot of different renditions of this brush before we found the perfect length of bristle and that perfect Gina K color with the turquoise logo. So these are now available in our stores. I'm so excited about these. I'm going to be using these tonight in my project too. I can't wait. Okay, now I am excited to share something else with you. I'm going to share, before we bring in our first illustrator, I'm going to show you two stamp and die sets by our illustrators that aren't able to be here tonight. And the first one, this was one of our earlier sneak peeks. This is the beautiful Vibrant Sentiment set. Look how big this set is, and look at all of these sentiments. I really, really like the style of font here. I feel like it's a nice cursive font, but it's easy to read. You've got happy birthday, I am grateful for you, best wishes, peace, prayers, and blessings. I love that. Celebrate, hello, you did it, I am so sorry, get well soon, congratulations, thinking of you, I love you, and with sympathy. And then you've got this large floral image and a smaller one, some leaves, greenery that you can put with this flower. And then there's also a coordinating die set. Now these are pretty big greetings, so these are more like greetings you'd want to stamp right onto your card. And then we thought that we would do the flower set in the flower dies, because you could definitely pop these up and have them at different heights on your card, and I think that that would look beautiful. So this is the new set by Beth Saleka, and you're going to see some beautiful samples in our Facebook group by our designers that were sent this set, and you'll be able to see different ideas that they created for you. So check out our Facebook group, and also check out Instagram using the hashtag Gina K Designs, and you'll find lots of inspiration. Love this one. Okay, so now we have another set by another illustrator that's unable to be here tonight. Her name is Hannah Drapinski, and oh my goodness, if you follow Hannah on Instagram, you know she is actually getting ready to have her second baby. And she's a busy mom, and she also is quite an influencer. She does a lot of fashion things and other types of art. Well, she has this brand new Poppies and Peonies set, and look at how huge that is. So we did a die for this because this is one of those that you can use for different fancy folds. You can use this to kind of wrap around a circle die or a rectangle die or a square die. I mean, you can use this in so many different ways. And I've already seen some of the inspiration by our designers using this set, and oh my word, they just knocked it out of the park. So I'm sure that you're going to be seeing those on Instagram and on Facebook. Now, it's got some really basic sayings, greetings that I think are really, really important. And I love the font because it's simple. It's not a complex font. And they're good for any kinds of cards. And they're also not too feminine. So if you wanted to use this for a masculine card, you certainly could. We've got Happy Anniversary, which somebody just asked for. I need a happy anniversary. Well, here's a great one with sympathy, happy birthday, get well wishes, and happy Easter, which is not that far away. So the new Poppies and Peonies is now available in our store in the What's New category. That's where you're going to find all of these tonight. And that is called Poppies and Peonies by Hannah Drapinski. I'm trying to read questions at the same time. Okay, so the ink pad labels are not available tonight. I was really hoping that they would be, but we ran into a problem with the label and we didn't feel like they were good enough. So they are about a week to 2 weeks away. They're definitely coming very soon, but they are about 2 weeks away, I would say. So hang in there, they are coming. And the new rendition of them is 1,000 times more vibrant. The labels looked really good and they were nice and crisp and they stayed on the ink pads and the ink cubes, no problem. But a lot of the colors were kind of running together and they weren't as vibrant as they should be. So Brian, our amazing graphic designer, he did some tweaks to them and we found a whole different type of label to get these printed on, and they look 1,000 times better. So we're just waiting for them to come in. Okay, so now without further ado, I'm going to show you the brand new set by Lisa Hetrick. So take a look at this beautiful set. This is called Wishing You Well. Oh, man, I love this boot. I'm not going to tell you all about this set. I'm going to let Lisa do it. She is waiting in the wings with a fantastic presentation for you tonight. So let's welcome her to the program. Welcome, Lisa Hetrick.
Hi friends, it's Lisa Hetrick. Hi Gina. Hi Tom. Hello everyone. Thank you for inviting me into your homes tonight to share my brand new stamp set called Wishing You Well. I'm super excited about this one. I know I say that every month, but I cannot wait to share the stamp set with you and all of the inspiration and a little bit of a story about where the inspiration came from. So let's dive in and head to the down camera. This is the brand new stamp set. It's called Wishing You Well. It's got a mixture of florals and sentiments and this cute little welly that I'm super excited about. And there's also a companion die set. And there is some elements for cutting out, some dies for cutting out the sentiments. So super fun. Okay, let's take a look at all of the elements in the stamp set before we dive into the inspiration. And I want to share a couple other stamp sets that all of my stamp sets are sized in proportion, and this stamp set will work with anything in my collection. But there are two stamp sets recently that came out last year that have some elements in it that are really useful for the stamp set. So I want to take a dive in and take a look at that and share that with you as well. Okay, so let's walk through all of the elements. So here is the boot and the pattern element to create the full welly. And here are some flourish elements and some leafery elements. I also have a two-step stamping option here. I love that we can do some open line art stamping and some solid stamping, and you could use these two separately. And one of the things I want to point out is the die that is available for this stamp can work with the open line and can also work with the silhouette. So it is tight enough around both. You'll get a little bit more of an edge around this one, but I intentionally try to design those two-step stamping elements to be that way so that you can have one die that works with both. And this is like one of my favorite parts of the stamp set. I know I'm saying that now because I'll say like everything is my favorite part, but we've got this piece of leafery and this really, really super cute two-step leafery option here. And this element right here can work so well as a pattern builder as well. I've got some centers for the florals. I have this pattern piece right here that is pulled out from the boot pattern, and you can use that. I'm going to share how I'm using that. Big honkin' floral, and the sentiments I have are wishing you well. Someone is thinking of you, and someone is thinking of you. It's me. So that's kind of super fun. Okay, I want to share that this set is completely inspired by this painting that I did last year. Okay, here's two versions of it. So I wanted to kind of, this inspired me so much. I actually taught a class on this, but this inspired me so much to create a stamp set so that we can recreate this look and feel of this painting for our card projects. So I've got this cute little welly, and I've got the flowers here and some of the leafery elements, and I kind of translated that over into this look right here. I also got a pair. This is a funny story. I got a pair of my own wellies, my own boots from this company called Merry People, and I absolutely love them. They're so comfortable. So just kind of fun to share some of the inspiration and the things that go through my mind when I'm creating a stamp set. Okay, I want to share also some of the elements, some of the other two stamp sets that I really have found will work really, really well with Wishing You Well. And this is Showers of Blessings, and look at that. In this stamp set, I've got the rain elements in the stamp set that can work really well with the concepts going here. And as we head into spring and we've got our garden boots and things like that, this is just super fun. And the stamp set Friendship Blooms has a lot of our different builder elements here that can work really well with our pattern builders that are in here. Okay, let's take a deep dive in and take a look at the inspiration that I have to share with you today. I think this might be my favorite card, and that's kind of why I popped it to the top. So I've got that welly, and I did a little bit of watercoloring in it, and then I used that pattern stamp to just kind of create a loose pattern in there. We've got our leafery elements, big honkin' florals, and did a little bit of watercoloring here. And then just did a little bit of watercoloring on the bottom here to create a little bit of grounding for the welly. And everything can be die cut, but look, we don't get a lot of height from that. I love that. Love that. Okay. I also, as you well know, I also love to create patterns with our stamps. So this really super cute floral and leafery pattern, just kind of anchored at the top and the bottom here, and our little sentiment in the center. I love this card too. Okay, again with the patterns, and this is where I took the florals and just kind of did a little floral combination here, a mixture of two-step stamping, our line art, and our watercolor. And then I mashed this stamp set up with Friendship Blooms and did a little bit more of a pattern piece right here on the side. And I just kind of love the way this looks. It's got a little bit of a modern spin to it. It's just kind of fun. Okay, this one, this inspiration here, I went all ham. So we've got all of the elements going on here. I've got that two-step stamping happening with the welly and the pattern inside. Got my blooms, got my leafery. Love that two-step stamping that's happening right here in the leafery. And I just love this color combination. And that someone is thinking of you, it's me. I just love the way that looks. Okay. I love to take florals and leafery elements and kind of put them together in this really clean and simple card. And I mashed it up with Friendship is a Flower That Blooms All Season from my Friendship Bloom stamp set. I love that we can mix and match our stamp sets to create different looks. It's just so much fun. Okay. This card, I wanted to do another pattern card, which is super fun with that big, big open line floral. And I decided to do a little bit of a tone on tone. It's something that I haven't done in a while. So we've got some wild wisteria here and some lilac paper. And I cut out that someone is thinking of you. And I really like the dies that we have now that kind of cut out the sentiment. It still has that organic shape around it, but it gives you that kind of clean look of the sentiment without it being a rectangle or a sentiment strip. And I just kind of nested those 3 flowers right there just to kind of finish that off. Okay, I love this card, and this card reminds me of my little wellies. So because mine aren't really tall, they're just kind of like a half. So you can take all of your florals and you can drop them down a little bit and kind of create that look and feel. You can cut that boot in half if you wanted to, just to kind of create a different look for the welly. And then I've paired it up with the rain from the Showers of Blessings stamp set to just get a really fun kind of spring look and feel to it. As with all of my stamp sets, I have a brand new card idea sheet for the Wishing You Well stamp set. There are 8 card ideas on this inspiration sheet. You can pick this up, indigojadeart.com, and then just click on the freebies, or you can grab this in the Gina K Designs Facebook group, and it's available there in the files. And I wanted to point out this card to you because it's an example of how I used that pattern stamp and then stamped it into the solid pattern for the boot. And I wanted to point that back out right here. So see how I just kind of did that, stamp that right into the boot, and you get a little bit of a different kind of texture and dimension. This is me nerding out, just kind of sharing you a little bit more. I hope you really enjoyed tonight's stamp set reveal for the Wishing You Well stamp set. I'm super excited to share it with you. I have a ton of inspiration and videos that are coming up. I will be going live this Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, and I'll be sharing a brand new card tutorial using a mashup of Wishing You Well and something else in my Gina K collection. Friends, thank you so much for letting me come into your homes tonight to get really excited and share my brand new stamp set with you. Tonight's release party is fantastic. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the rest of the release. Thank you so much, friends, and I'll see you next time.
Lisa, thank you so much. Your cards were absolutely spectacular, as usual. And I saw a lot of people saying the same thing I was thinking. I never heard those boots called wellies before, and so you've taught us all something new. They are adorable. I just love the pattern that you can add to these boots, or you can kind of do your own thing, create your own pattern in there. I mean, there are just so many ways to use it. The set is called Wishing You Well, and it's now available in the What's New category at GinaKDesigns.com. Thank you, Lisa. You are just pure joy. All right, so now I wanted to just say something because I did see a couple comments. We've got people coming in from Facebook, from Twitch, from all over the place. We've got like 3,600 people here. Oh my goodness. And a few of you along the way have been saying, hey, how are the things from the last kit already sold out? They were never in stock. The reason why we added those items to the What's New category is so those of you that want them can get on the Notify Me list. I had told everybody a few times in a few videos in the last week or so, and also posted something about it, that we will not have those new products available tonight, those products from the last kit that we normally break up, but they should be back in stock in the next couple of weeks. So if you want any of those, get yourself on the Notify Me list. This way you'll be the first one to hear about them when they come back in stock. Okay, so now we have our next illustrator, and she's done something really amazing, and I saw a little bit of her video when I was getting the videos prepared, and I think you guys are going to love this one. She doesn't always make a video because she lives all the way in India, and a lot of times her products don't get to her in time. Fortunately, they did this time, and she's created something amazing. This is her new stamp. It's called Vintage Filigree. It's a big 6x6 backgrounder that can be used in so many ways. She's going to show you some gorgeous inspiration tonight, so let's welcome her to the program, Arjita Singh.
Hi guys, Arjita here. Welcome to Gina K Designs February 2024 release, and I'm super excited to talk about and show you my latest stamp set, which is called the vintage filigree. So what you saw in the sneak peek was the entire stamp set, because at this time we do not have to talk about floral images or sentiments, and it's a beautiful huge 6x6 photopolymer background stamp, and it is so nice, versatile, beautiful and intricate that I'm sure you all will love it. So this is the stamp set and I had so much fun creating it. I love it because of the versatility and fun element in this. So many different card styles can be achieved using this background. You can do tone on tone, you can do so many other techniques like heat embossing and watercoloring and whatnot. You can do ink blending on it. You can use metallic embossing powders, and every time you use a different product, a new look can be achieved. So I'll just flip my camera and I'll show you all the card samples I created using the vintage filigree, and I hope you will like it. So this is vintage filigree and it is so beautiful. I'll just bring it a little closer so you can see what I mean by the rough edges and the line art, and that is very, very deliberate. So this is the stamp set, and now I am going to show you the cards I created. So this is the first card, and here I just did some ink blending and then stamped the image using the same ink on top, and I used these beautiful flowers and finished this simple card. So this is a cast style card and it is very easy to replicate. So for the second card, I heat embossed the background with some platinum colored heat embossing powder and added a little floral element and a tiny sentiment. So this was very quick. The main focus still remains on the background, and I totally love it when the background is the hero of the card. This is the next one, and I used the glitter embossing powder here and a butterfly from one of the previous stamp sets by Gina K Designs, and I just used one of the master's layout dies to cut out this rectangle, and I adhered it on a polka dot background. So very simple, very quick to create, but it looks like you put in a lot of effort in this. Again, very easy to mass produce. For this one, I stamped the image in black ink and then used my Copic markers to fill in the little elements with a dark blue and a lighter blue. Then I added some Wink of Stella shimmer in between areas, and you can see that shining, and I used one of the beautiful elements from a previously launched stamp set by Gina K Designs. This is again heat embossed, and I used distress inks to create this ink blended background, and used one of my stamp sets and added this beautiful happy birthday just to jazz it up even more. So this is the next one, and here you can see the shine and shimmer, and again the background is the hero of the stamp set. I used one of Lisa's image here and a sentiment, a bold sentiment which says love you. So basically I created two cards out of one heat embossed background, and it is so beautiful. Next one is also heat embossed, and here I did some watercolored background. I just blended watercolors and created this nice ombre, used one of my older stamps and a huge happy birthday sentiment from Gina K Designs. This is the next one. Here you can see the tone on tone effect, and these products are a part of the February 2024 Gina K Designs release, and the stamp set is by Melanie, and this beautiful sentiment is also a part of that. So I love it, and this is a very soft and beautiful card. You can see the tone on tone I did here, and you can just create so many such combinations. This is the last one for today, and this is what I call the mixed media style. I heat embossed the background with white embossing powder and then added these color bursts from Ken Oliver on top and added water so that the water can do all the work. And I just love this red accent which is automatically created when these color bursts blend with each other. I added this beautiful image by Lisa's stamp set for this month, and I had so much fun creating this. This was super quick and very, very fun to make. So these are the cards which I created using vintage filigree, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll be posting pictures and close-up shots of all these cards on my Instagram channel and on my blog so that you can just go there and see what I exactly did. I'll be linking all the products I've used in my blog post, and I hope to see you very, very soon. So that is all from my side tonight, and I hope you liked the cards I created using the vintage filigree stamp set. And thank you so much, Gina and Tom, for having me, and I wish all of you have a lovely evening ahead. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Oh, wow, Arjita, those cards were gorgeous and bright and vibrant, and I love, one of my favorites was when you cut that one panel out and then you made two cards out of one background. That was gorgeous. They were all gorgeous, as all of your cards are. So thank you so much for taking time to make a video for us and inspiring us with all of those gorgeous projects. And you got to see a lot of the other products that are available tonight in those cards as well. So that's kind of a little bit of a double benefit for all of us. Thanks again, Arjita. Okay, well, we have our next illustrator waiting in the wings, and she is the queen of the sentiment. She has blessed us with so many beautiful inside greetings for our cards, and she is not stopping anytime soon. This one is one that nobody wants to have to need, but we all need it. It is this gorgeous set called With Sympathy, and it is the brand new set by Deborah Warner. She's going to tell you all about it. I love every one of these greetings and these gorgeous elements that go along with it. So let's welcome her to the show. Welcome, Deborah Warner.
Hello, Gina and Tom. Debbie Warner here. Thank you so much for including me for our February 2024 release party. I always love being here and appreciate all of you so very much. Let me tell you about my newest stamp set. It is called With Sympathy. And it has images that I guess I would call foliage, kind of some flowery, greenery images. And this one here actually has 5 spots that you can either stamp the little berry or the little flower on to get a little different look. You can probably also look into your stamp set stash and see what other tiny little flowers we have that might also pair well with that stamp. I have several different greetings for the outside of the card with sympathy. I have 2 of those. My favorite one is Forever in Our Hearts. I also have with Deepest Sympathy. Another one is Thinking of You. And I think that's it. So let me read to you the sentiments for the inside of the card, because I think sometimes it's always hard to think about what do you write in a card for a sympathy card. So I have caring thoughts are with you during this difficult time. Sharing in your sadness, you are in our thoughts. Wishing you peace and comfort. Words can't express my deepest sorrow for your loss. Sending warmest condolences. And the last one is, let loving memories soften your grief and pain and bring you peace and comfort. So those are the inside sentiments. So as always, I have my samples hanging out behind me, but I will go to my overhead shots and we will take a look at those cards in more detail and see what I used to make them. Here we go.
On my first 2 samples, I used the greenery that has 5 open spots for either a flower or a berry. On my first sample, I used Lucky Clover black and white for my cardstock, and my inks are Lucky Clover and Dusty Rose. The greeting is in black onyx, and I added some black hearts from our black and white heart mix. The second card, I used Edible Eggplant in white for my cardstocks, Edible Eggplant for the greeting and the berries, and the greenery I first stamped in grass green, and then I did a little rock and roll technique on the stamp with some Christmas pine. On this card, my cardstock colors are black onyx, sweet corn, and white. I used masking magic and cut out a circle, and then I did some ink blending inside that circle with sweet corn, sweet mango, and medium carnation. I used black onyx for the greeting and for the image, and then I clear embossed those both with our detailed clear embossing powder. On this card, I used in the navy and metallic silver cardstock. I also used our silver embossing powder. For the lower corners, I did use a corner rounder. It was a 1/2-inch corner rounder, just to add a little interest because the card is so simple. On this card, I used Christmas pine and ivory cardstock. I used Master Layouts 12 to cut out the ivory panel. And then I stamped that bigger leaf image with some of our green colors. I used Christmas pine, grass green, jelly bean green, dark spruce, and fresh asparagus. I finished it off with some gold pearls, and the greeting is in our fine detail gold embossing powder. For this card, I started with a Stormy Sky card base, and I used black onyx ink and our Harvest Flourish stencil on that, and then I used a piece of cherry red cardstock with our lattice embossing folder for that red panel. The greeting is white embossed on our black onyx cardstock. That little picture there is watercolor paper cut with Master Layout 7. I used soft stone and stamped the elegant script for the background, and then I used my Zig Real Brush markers directly on the stamp and stamped with that, and then I finished it off with some of my black and white twine. This is a 5x7 card. My cardstock colors are Wild Lilac, Apple Mint, and are white. The image and greeting are stamped in white embossing powder on watercolor paper, and then I used watercolors to do a resist technique. The white panel was embossed with our tapestry embossing folder, and I added some of the soft white pearls for a little more interest. On this tag, I used our white cardstock, and I actually used jelly bean cardstock as well. It's just on the flip side. I always like to add something to the back. My inks are jelly bean green, sweet corn, and the greening is in Christmas pine. I did use my colored pencils to do a messy kind of color look on these, and I really like the way it turned out.
I hope you enjoyed my samples. As always, I really love to make cards, so I had fun making them. My favorite card this time is the busy one, this one. I know it used a lot of different products. We have a stencil, we have an embossing folder, we have a background stamp, we have some embossing powder, but I really enjoyed this. I think it turned out really cool, and I love the way that image looks when you kind of watercolor on top of it and then stamp it. So also, I wanted to point out that on my blue and silver card, and yes, it is silver. I know it looked gold in the photo. I think it was reflecting me, but I did round the corners on the inside of that card as well. So there you have it. Again, thank you so much for being here and for joining us tonight or in the morning or afternoon, wherever you are. And again, I just want to remind you that I love to see the cards you make with my stamp set. So please share them in our Facebook group so I can see them, or on Instagram. Thank you so much again. Love you all. Have a fabulous rest of your evening or day. Bye-bye.
Of course they were reflecting, that card was reflecting gold, Debbie. You are golden. Those cards were gorgeous. And this set is absolutely a must-have set for your collection. I struggle with what to write. And even if you're going to write a personalized message, there's a lot of space inside a sympathy card. And just having that greeting to get you started and then adding a little bit of your own sentiment underneath is just so nice and so appropriate and so helpful. So thank you so much, Debbie. And I liked your very busy card too. And I have to tell you that I like busy cards because it gets us using our stuff. So that was a lot of great inspiration. Thank you so much for joining us and taking the time to make that video, Debbie. We appreciate it. Love this set. The new With Sympathy stamp set is now available in our store in the What's New category at GinaKDesigns.com. Okay, well, we have one more illustrator who is joining us, and she is going to inspire you with all kinds of beautiful cards. And then I've got a bunch of surprises to share with you, so I can't wait. But I don't want to rush this because y'all know that Melanie just knocks it out of the park month after month. This is her brand new beautiful set called Beautiful Birds 2, and she's going to tell you all about it. And it does coordinate with her original Beautiful Birds die set. So if you have part 1, she's going to show you how to use them together, and you already have the dies that you need. But if you don't have part 1 and you want dies, this is the die set that coordinates with it. All right, everybody, let's welcome her to the program, Melanie Menschinger.
Hey everyone, Melanie Menschinger here, illustrator for Gina K Designs. Thank you so much for coming out to our release party tonight. I can't wait to show you my newest set from Gina K Designs, Beautiful Birds 2. This is a follow-up to my very popular line art coordinating set, Beautiful Birds. And if you have this set and or the dies, then you've already got dies that are going to work for all of the images in Beautiful Birds 2. I cannot wait to show you all the samples that I have made using just this set and then these two sets together. So much fun. When you've got line art and bold stamps, you can do every single stamping technique or inking technique out there. If you want to do coloring, if you want to use all of your ink pads and your markers, or if you want to put these together as a two-step stamp, it is going to just be so much fun and be so versatile year-round for all kinds of occasions. I'm also going to be sharing an inspiration sheet for this new set that has all new layouts from the previous, and they will both be found in our Gina K Designs and Stamp TV files section. I want to point out just a few differences. Like I said, you have all the same images as you do in the previous bird set, but with a few changes. Because I took out those greetings and made room for more, we have got some really awesome ones here that are going to cover all of the other occasions pretty much that you didn't have in the first set. Congratulations and celebrate. These are going to be great for weddings, graduations, anniversaries, thanks, with deepest sympathy, and then his eye is on the sparrow and he watches over me. And I just think that is so wonderful for encouragement. I've also got a vertical greeting in this set, friend, and this is so nice for those long portrait layouts that we like to do. Something that I changed about this large singing bird, it used to have the branch as part of the image. I was able to separate this branch out. This is going to give you a lot of versatility because you're going to be able to have this branch pointing either way for this bird, but you can also use it left or right for all of the remaining birds in the set. Now that you've got two separate branches, a large one and a small one, this is going to really allow you to stamp and extend those branches longer for larger projects or to make more complicated branching networks. Now we've also got a new large bold flower and then several different single and cluster leaves that you're going to be able to do in all different colors, and this is going to be great for making great big flower swags or borders, and as well as putting on these different branches on your cards. Also, I have got some little hatched birds from the eggs, and I've got a bold filler that you can either use with the egg outline from the first nest, or you can stamp it in a different color into this nest. I've also separated out the eyes and the little feet. And what this is going to allow you to do is to stamp these birds in any color you want and then stamp up just the feet in a different color and add them. And that is just going to make it just so easy, and you're going to really be able to make a really graphic, bold look with those. Now, the larger feet that are pointing this way go with the larger bird pointing this way. The smaller feet here are going to go with the small bird that's pointing that same direction, just to clarify. I always try to put my different images in my stamp sets near the image that coordinates. Doesn't always work out just because sometimes doesn't have as much room on the plate and I want to be able to fit other stuff in, but just so you know. I've also got these two little circles here with a highlight. That is going to be a little eye that you can pop in a separate color on all of these birds. So one that's a little bit smaller and one that's a little bit larger. But another fun thing that you can do with those is you can actually create little buds or little berries on these branches because of that kind of oval shape. So let's get into the samples. I talked long enough about that. So I want to start out showing some of the silhouettes, since that's the easiest thing to visualize with these bold stamps. So here are a couple different cards that I created. A sympathy card, and then that one with his eye is on the sparrow. So I've got a reverse masking technique here where I just blended in a circle with some wild lilac and some pink passion, and then I stamped one of the birds and several different branches on there in the jet black, and then I popped up a die cut branch just to give it a little more depth. This could work for any occasion. This one here, this is also reverse masking that I did with just a torn edge, where I took a blending brush and I put in some of the peach Bellini ink along with some turquoise sea, and then just stamped in that little bird and then the branch in black. And it may be hard to see it here, but I went ahead and took the bird from the other set because it's got that dark head and a little bit of filler in that line art image, and I stamped that with some soft stone. So that just made it a gray and black bird. It's just so simple looking, but so elegant. So there are a couple of silhouettes. Here is one with the nest, just so that you can see how these new images work together. I've got this stamped in the craft, and I just made a little shadow underneath it, and then I popped in some of those stamped little eggs. So I've got them in an ocean mist color to look like little robin eggs, and then I just took, you can either take a marker or a pencil, and I just put some tiny little polka dots on there and a little bit of shading in the bottom with a darker turquoise ink. You could also roll that image though into some darker turquoise ink to just create the shadow. The next one that I have here is a grayscale card. It's just all in gray, black, and white. And you can see the nest again. I've got it perched on a little branch here with the mama perched on the nest, and then those three little birds that are waiting for a worm. So I just think that's such a fun new addition for those eggs. Because these are done so realistically, they also make great looking vintage cards. And so I went ahead and put one of those birds, really simple stamping here, but I love this lacy flower image that is in Gina's new kit. So I just did the Sandy Beach ink on here blended, and then just some monochromatic stamping with that flower and lace. Then I added the dark chocolate bird, and I centered the eye of the bird right over one of the flowers. Really just brings your eye right to it. And then I accented both of those with a little rhinestone. I think that's another fun way that you can add some bling to these bird cards, is by putting a little embellishment in the eye instead of stamping or coloring it. The next card that I want to show you, I love these colors together. I got out some of my ink cubes, so I have got some of the Carnation and Orchid ink cubes, I believe. I will look those up and post them when I share the card. But for this particular card, I used both sets. So I love how having these bold stamps, not only do you not have to color, but you can also make the colored in image exactly coordinate with the stamping that you have done. So I took the large flower, the line art flower from the first image, and then the smaller flower and all these different leaves from the new set, stamped those in different colors on here to create this really beautiful floral background. And then I die cut this bird. So I have got it stamped in the lighter orchid, and then I have gone over it with that dark orchid with the line art outline from the previous beautiful bird set. And it just perfectly coordinates with those flowers. I love that. And I put a congratulations on here. And I can decide later what occasion I want to send that out for. Another really fun technique that I'm going to be demonstrating in a video that you can do with these bold stamps is you can add all kinds of patterns to these images. So what I did here is first I stamped them in a lighter color, either in the pink or in this Lucky Clover green. Then I cleaned the stamp and I stamped onto it with a brand new background that we have out. This is the vintage filigree background, so I just love this lace design. And I inked that up in a darker color and pressed my bold stamp down onto the inked up filigree and then pressed it on over my solid stamp. And so you can see you've got a nice red velvet over that of the lace, and then on this one you've got that gorgeous blue lagoon. Then, because I wanted the bird to be a little bit darker, I took that outline from the first set to make it even more red, and I just stamped that right over. And then I put in some branches with that blue lagoon and added some of those little eyes for berries. So I love how this is just some different colors here than you would traditionally see for birds and branches. The next one, this is a direct to stamp technique where you can use your water-based markers. So you can use those just like ink pads, color directly onto that stamp, and then stamp it into your die cut. So here I've just used some blue, some brown marker, a peachy marker, and then a red. And that just really looks like a little bluebird there. Then I've also just stamped in the feet and then the eyes with brown, and I just touched up that, the little bird beak with some brown as well. And then I used a stencil here to create that sun and just to really highlight the thanks. Same thing with these branches. I inked these in a craft and then used the Lucky Clover and then did some blended sky. Almost done here. The last couple cards that I have, just love birds with flowers. So this I think is Peonies and Poppies, Poppies and Peonies, the new floral set from Hannah Drapinski. So I just colored this big swag, and then I just added 2 die cut birds here. And again, all I did is I inked these up in powder blue and then just swiped on a little bit of my blue denim pad and stamped. And there you go. You don't have to do any coloring. You just use your 2 ink pads and then again add in the feet and the eyes with your black ink. Super pretty. This final card, this is one of my favorites, and I made this one using the Innocent Pink and the Pink Passion, rolling those flowers. Again, inking up the branches with some craft and Lucky Clover ink. And then this little bird, I've just used my markers and my softstone ink pad to just fill in directly on the stamp before stamping, and then adding in just a little bit more black and just a little bit with my markers on the stamped paper for that bird. And then again, I used that His Eyes on the Sparrow, and I Googled a sparrow image to reference those colors. Put a Master Layouts die on there, and it just turned out so, so pretty. Love this card. I think there's a few things that I forgot to point out about these, but I will share when I post the pictures in our Facebook group. Thank you so much for letting me share about my stamp set tonight. I am so excited to see what the design team, all of our guest artists have made, and then what you are all going to make at home. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Please make sure that you tag me when you post, because I want to see what you made so I can comment and thank you for sharing with my stamps. Have a great night. Have a wonderful party. Love you all. God bless.
So, is there anything left? Unbelievable. Melanie, card after card after card, just fantastic. And I had posted in the comments, I'm actually on my phone on YouTube posting in the comments, so my Facebook friends probably didn't see this, but make sure you save this video, because there is just so much inspiration in here to get you started that you're not going to remember all these cards. So save the video somehow, put it in a playlist on YouTube, save it on Facebook so that you can go back and refer to it over and over again, because there's just so many great things there. And also, Melanie, if you're still watching, make sure you share your cards on Instagram so that I can share them on my Instagram as well. Okay, so everybody, I mean, all of our illustrators just knocked it out of the park, as usual. And now it's time to show you some of my stuff. So we've got a couple of surprises that I'm going to get into right away. And the first thing is And I think it's a perfect time to share this because Melanie just showed us so many beautiful bird cards, is this brand new bird cage die. This is a huge die. I've cut it out here for you. So let me show you how big it is. It's 2.4 inches by 4 inches. So this is going to fill up a big chunk of your card front. And what's fun about a die like this is you can do so many fun things with it. You can use it with bird images. You can also use it with floral images. And I did make a card for you using this tonight, so I can show that to you in just a second. Laura, you must have missed, I already talked about the labels. They are about 2 weeks away. We had a little error with the paper, and our ink pad labels will be out in about 2 weeks. Okay, so the bird cage is now available, and I have another die set here that I want to show you. This is called Spring Blooms. Now this one, when you see this one on the website, you might look at it and go, I don't even know what that is. You know, it's got these weird square flowers, and then it's got this flower. So what I've done is I have cut everything out here to show you how this works. Okay, so the Spring Blooms, these are 2 plates that cut out these petals. And the reason we did them in a plate instead of just doing a single petal is because then you could just do it all in one pass, right? Bang, you cut it, you've got all 5 large petals and all 5 smaller petals. But you can also use this as a stencil. So if you want to do a little bit of, you know, petals in the background, lighter behind your florals, or if you want to glue this down onto this right here, this is your base flower, and this allows you to glue all these petals on first and then all these petals on second, so you get a double flower like that one right there. Once you glue these on, you can lay this on top and you can stencil over it, so you can get ink blended petals. Then there are 2 stamen dies here, and you can use them as singles if you want less stamen, or you can put them all in one flower the way this is, and you can take your pick and stick tool and you can just pull them up so you get a little bit more dimension between them like that. Can you see what I'm doing there? All of that dimension. Then we also have a small center of the flower. That's this right here, and I pop that in the center. So I've used all of these pieces to build this flower. Then you've got the greenery, and the greenery has the impression of the veins in both this trio of leaves and these single leaves, and then you have this little branchy, leafery piece right here. So I used these 2 die sets, the new bird cage and the new Spring Blooms, and I made a card that I want to show you. So here is a card that I made. I actually used some old silver cardstock, but you can also ink up with embossing ink and silver powder onto a piece of cardstock and then cut that out. I actually triple layered it so you can see it's nice and thick there. And then I just kind of cascaded those flowers and those leaves around the outside. And then I used one of our stripped sentiments from our mixed messages and just added hello friend. So you can use this bird cage with any of your flower dies, flower stamps. You can use them with the birds. You can use them with butterflies, whatever you want. A bird cage is always fabulous to have in your collection. And I like the simplicity of this one too. It's not very ornate. It's not something you have to put together or build. It's just cut and go, and that's what it looks like. And then you can do more of the PC stuff with the Spring Blooms and create a card like this. So I will be demonstrating a card like this in one of my upcoming videos so you can see how I put all of these flowers together. And I did actually, I cut all of my flowers out of white on this card, and then I just ink blended over all of them with our Carnation inks. So that's how I did that. So I wanted to show you that. All right. Now, I want to show you another fun die set that just came out. It is a happy birthday die set. It's called Graphic Happy Birthday. And this one has the large happy with all caps and the shadow, and then the small birthday in all small letters and the shadow. But what's really fun about this one is it's quick and easy. It's not detailed. You don't have to place each letter on the shadow. It just cuts everything out and it just works with one cut. So here what I did on these, I just cut those out to show you what they look like layered together. I just did a little bit of ink blending where I used turquoise C, and I just used it with a little bit of a lighter hand, but then I blended it up into nothing. And then I cut the word happy, and I did it again and cut the word birthday. And then I cut my shadow layers out using black cardstock and just layered them together. So this is kind of a fun happy birthday that's quick and easy to use. It'll make a great, nice, bold image in the center of your card. If you want to use this with foil, you can. You can cut these out of foiled toner sheets or foiled polyglaze sheets. So lots of fun ways to use this, and honestly, I never have enough birthday greetings, so I really, really love this one. Okay, so now the next special fun thing I want to show you is our brand new Master Layouts 14 die set. This one, I'll tell you, it's one of my favorites, and there's a lot more to it than you might think. So here's what it looks like, Master Layouts 14. We have expanded on our Master Layouts. Let me find it here. I know it's here somewhere. Master Layouts 11. So we came out with Master Layouts 11, which was our original postage stamp die set. It's got lots of little postage stamps and some postage greetings. And then it's got this that can be cut out as a stencil or used as a window. We expanded on that and did a postage grid that will fit your A2 cards. But what we did with this is we made sure that this postage grid right here perfectly matched Master Layouts 2. So now you can cut this postage grid and you can mat it with the plain rectangle die from Master Layouts 2. Where is my Master Layouts 2? So I can show you which one I'm talking about. I don't know. I got dies everywhere here. Oh, here it is. So this is Master Layouts 2. So this plain rectangle here coordinates with this postage grid. Then, lots of you have been asking me for something that coordinates with Master Layouts 1. You love Master Layouts 1 because you love it because it's a little bit bigger, but you wanted a stitched die. So we did a stitched die that coordinates with Master Layouts 1. This is actually 3 3/4 inch by 5 inches. So let me show you. I just pulled mine out and put them on magnets, and let me show you what I'm talking about. So here is the postage die, and then here is the die that coordinates with Master Layouts 1. It also coordinates with the postage die. It will give you just a little bit of a bigger border, and it will create a little bit of a bigger border that has stitching. So that'll work together. Now, I've cut all of these out from this set to show you how they layer together. And look at this gorgeous one. This is in here as well. This big circular die. I wanted this die for a lot of things. I think florals around a die like this make this an amazing grounding element. I think putting a bird up against it would be just beautiful. This has a wrought iron feel to it, which is perfect for spring and summer. It reminds me of Parisian cafes and beautiful ceiling medallions and all kinds of things like this. But we can mix and match this whole set with Master Layouts 2 and Master Layouts 1. So here I've layered this together with layered this together with what comes in this set. I only did that to show you this, but I have cut out a panel here, and let me find it because I've got things everywhere here. Give me 1 second. This is the Postage Grid. And this is the plain die from Master Layouts 2. And you can see how you get that nice little shadow layer. So that's a tiny shadow layer, but if you mix and match it with the one that's in here, you get the bigger shadow layer. And some of you like a bigger border. So this is the whole idea of Master Layouts. We're going to continue to build the collection so that it works together and that you can continue to mix and match these dies together. Now, what are these, you ask? Well, I'm going to be showing you how these work in another card sample that I have. But what these are is these are perfectly sized strips. They have, the small ones have stitches and the larger ones don't. They're the same length and they go right across the entire card. This one goes across the entire card when it's layered with Master Layouts 2 this way, and this one goes across the entire card this way. So when you want to do a split type of card, which I'm going to show you in a bit, and you want to break it up with a sentiment right in the middle, you can use one of these, and these will work with our new kit. And they will work with any large sentiment that you have, pretty much. I mean, these are pretty big. They work with those longer sentiments. So this is what the Master Layouts 14 looks like. And now I'm going to show you the kit, but I am going to show you card samples where I mixed and matched this die set in with my card samples so you can see this set in action. Okay, now, before I do that though, I want to show you one more item. This is our Postage Grid stencil. And this stencil fits over the Postage Grid die so you can shade the boxes without shading anything in between here. All right? Now that's the first thing I want to tell you. If you want to stamp over this, and sometimes it's hard to stamp over a stencil, or if you want to even stencil over the boxes, all of these grid lines are sized to perfectly match the Masking Magic strips. So they are the perfect size in there when you get the boxes in there to block off so that you can stamp on there without it going onto the lines. And I'm going to show you that tonight as well. So I hope that you're hanging in there because I've got things to show you. All right, this is available a la carte. You can buy this if you want. It's not necessary. You can still do beautiful things with these dies. But if you want to be able to shade in the boxes, this does make it easy because you just plop it on top and go. Okay, so now let me get the kit and we're going to start talking about the kit. So the new kit, I love it so much. It's so adorable. It is called All Things Spring. So you get your index sheet in here and you can see that there are 2 large 6x8 stamp sets. So these stamp sets are bigger than what was in our last kit because our two big stamp sets in that kit were 4x6. This is 2 6x8 stamp sets, so these are gigantic. And then we have a 4x4 stamp set with these cute little animal images. We've got a 4-piece layering stencil that is, oh, chef's kiss. It's to die for. It's called Layered Carnation, and it's got 2 steps for the flowers, 2 steps for the leaves. It's absolutely breathtaking. And then we have a die set that will cut this whole set out, and we have a die set that will cut all of the words for this and the single flowers because we don't want to cut these out, and I'll show you that in a minute. You'll be able to see. Now let me show you what these look like in real life, in real big size. So the first one I want to show you is this one. It's called Spring Friends. And these are adorable images that you can color, and then they've got the greeting, hello friend, and spring blessings. And then it's got a little forever, first class, 5 cents, 50 cents, 10 cents, and 2 cents. You can add those to either die set. So whether whether you have the original postage set that we started with, Master Layouts 11, or you want to pick up the new Master Layouts 14, you will be able to stamp these little elements in there to create the look of postage stamps. This also has a full die set that coordinates with all of the images, including the greetings. But it doesn't cut out these little tiny ones, which they're just too small anyway. Now I want to show you a card I made with this set. Here's one, and you might be wondering, well, how did you do the single stamps? Well, the cool thing about this set is if you cut right along the dots, you could turn these all into separate little individual stamps. So you can do a stamp collage with this as well as using it as a full grid. So I decided to cut these out and do just some different little images from this set, and you can see I embellished them with the forever, the 10 cents, the 50 cents, the 2 cents. I added a few pearls in there, and I colored these with Copic markers, but you could color them with anything you want. I didn't do a great coloring job because that is not my forte, but I do have fun coloring, and I did want to make a bright spring card. So that's the first card from this set using Spring Friends. Now, I'm going to show you the stencil that comes with this. I think it's at the very bottom. This is the layered Carnation set. Now, this builds upon an old stencil that I designed for a class that I taught, but I made this bigger than the class that I taught. So we had a Carnation set for a class that I taught for, I believe it was a Let's Stamp Together. But I've taken this up, and then I asked my daughter to help me with all of the layers, because I don't know how to do the layers, and she does all of the layers amazingly well. So this is bigger, bolder, and it's got all of these beautiful layers in here. Now I know it's really hard to see what that's going to look like, but I'm going to show you, because I made this card using that stencil. And this is where I was telling you that you could put masking magic in here just to block off these panels. This way you can just slap your stencil right on there. You're going to be able to go right up close to the paper. It's hard to actually stencil right to the edge when there's another stencil on top, but by using the masking magic strips, it makes it super easy. And again, I added the little postage elements in here, and then I added Hello Friend up here. And isn't that just so fun? It's so easy, takes no time at all. And we're going to recreate this card. I'll do it in a different color combination tonight, just so that you can see exactly how I did it and how easy it is to do. You'll be shocked. Okay, so that features the layered Carnation set. So we've got that, we've got the Spring Friends, and now let's move on to the next stamp set. So you are going to get one large magnet. This one large magnet is enough for both of these die sets, so you'll be able to keep all of your die sets together. And this is the Modern Rose die set, which I'm going to show you, Modern Roses. I'm going to show you the stamp set. And then this is the Spring Friends. They both fit on here beautifully. I have it right here so you can see there's no fancy trying to get it all on there. It fits on there beautifully. And I love this kit, and I'm going to keep it together. I'm not breaking it up because it all mix and matches so well. So it's nice to have all your dies in one place. So you're going to get this large magnet. We didn't put the magnets in the individual die sets because we just have one big one for you. These would have had 2 small magnets in it. You're getting the same amount of magnets. If you're a person that likes to break everything up, all you have to do is cut this in half at the 3.5 inch mark. And let's see, 3.5 inch mark, and you will have 2 small magnets just like the rest of our small magnets. But I did want to keep mine together, so I suggested the big magnet. All right, here is the gorgeous Modern Roses stamp set. Now this is a 2-step stamp set where you stamp your roses first, and then you lay your leaves around there and stamp your leaves. Super easy to line up. Like, this is going to be a no-brainer for you. And then you can cut out these tiny images with the die set so you can have layers. You can pop some of the flowers up and have some of them flat. I want to show you a card I made here using this set. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love the way that looks. And I'm just so enamored with these big, bold greetings. You've got a huge birthday wishes, love and hugs. Thanks so much. Hello, friend. You can cut all of these out with the die set, or you can stamp them right on your card like I did with this one. And boy, see how I popped that flower up there so you have a little bit of extra dimension, and I popped these leaves up? I actually used 2 foam squares on here. I layered them, so this is really high up, and then these are just 1 foam square high, and it gives you extra levels of dimension. But you could have also cut out the small ones and pop them in here anywhere you want to add extra dimension on this card. And I used a technique on this card. It's kind of like a rock and roll technique where I stamped the image first in some orange, and then I just went around the perimeter with some darker red. So this is so easy to do, and this will be another card I will demonstrate in an upcoming video, and we'll change up the colors and do other fun things to it. Okay, so the final stamp set is the one that I've been peeking in all of our banners and everything else, and I am in love with this one. You're going to love this one too. Oh wait, you know what? I'll show you that at the end. This is called Lovely Lace. And this has got this beautiful lace design that can go on the top of your card, and then you can flip your cardstock and do it on the bottom. It's also got this more kind of free-flowing lace pattern. And you can do emboss resist with these. You can do any kind of techniques that you want. You can also stamp them in black and color them in. So there's just so many fun ways to use this one. Now I want to show you an Easter card that I made. Take a look at this. And this uses the Master Layouts 14 die set. So what I did was I just cut a Master Layouts 2 panel here, and I cut a Master Layouts 2 layering panel here. And then I stamped these images, and I did like a little flip thing, and then I stamped Happy Easter on one of the strips, this strip right here, onto here, and layered it right across the center. And you can see how it takes up the whole center of the card, and it breaks up the lace. Now I have a video coming on Thursday featuring this. I'm going to do this card for you so you can see how it looks and how easy it is. This is a super easy card to make, and I want to show you how to ink blend on it and get it nice and soft around the edges. Plus you can see all those fun little pearls. You can use our white pearls, our metallic pearls. Our rainbow pearls are now out of stock, but we have more on order. So, and you can also color the white pearls with your alcohol markers too, so you can make your own colors, because alcohol markers will color onto non-porous things. Rhinestones would look gorgeous in there. Sequins would look beautiful. But this card I just love, and I'll be doing this one on Thursday. Now I want to show you one more card with that stencil, because you got to see the stencil kind of all broken up with the postage, but I wanted to show you one where it's actually not broken up. And you can see all of the beautiful detail in those layers. There's several layers in there. And I also did not just layers, but I used our tiny blending brushes to deepen the color down here near the bottom with a different color. And then these up here, I used light carnation, medium carnation, and then I used a little faded brick down there at the bottom. So that kind of deepened the color a bit. So those are my card samples that I made for tonight. Now I thought, let me see what time it is. Oh yeah, we have time. I'm going to make this card for you. I already have the die cut out, so it's going to go pretty quickly. And I really did want to show you how quickly you can make a card like this that looks so detailed, okay? So I'm going to start with the brand new die from Master Layouts 14. Okay, so that's all cut out already. I'm just trying to find my ones so I don't have to kind of open another one here. I think I have them. Just give me 1 second. Here's my my stencils, and then here is my stencil. Okay. So I'm going to get a piece of cardstock and I'm going to tape this down just so that it doesn't move. All right, I'm just going to put tape in like 2 spots just to keep it steady. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this die, this stencil, I have 2 of them, I don't know why, and I'm going to lay this on top like this. Not like that, like this. There we go. You look for the the words Postage Grid on the bottom and you'll be able to line this up. So I'm just going to take a second here and I'm going to use some masking magic to tack this down, although I do have some pixie tape here. So maybe I will use this instead. So I want to make sure that this looks fairly centered, and the best way to make sure that it looks centered, and you may not be able to see this as well as I would like you to see it, but when you get this home, you will be able to see very clearly the stitching through the stencil. Just line up the stitching so that it looks lined up and centered, and it'll be very easy for you to get this stencil in the right spot. All right, so I'm going to just tape it down on all 4 sides, and I'm going to add a very light dusting of ink just to segment it out a little bit, just like I did on my sample. You see I used a little bit of sea glass there. We're going to use sea glass again because I think it's a good color. I didn't get all my supplies out for this because I really didn't know what colors I was going to use, but I think I might use maybe some purples for the flower on this one. Okay, so we're going to go with a very light dusting of sea glass, and I'm kind of just going around the boxes. Now, if you want, you just want to go around the boxes and you want to kind of leave the centers of the boxes a little more white, then all you have to do is get a scrap piece of paper. Let me find a little scrap piece of paper here. Here's a scrap piece of paper. So you can just cut a scrap piece of paper like this and you can just block them off like that. Just put your finger there, or if you want to use Post-it notes, you can do that. So see what I'm doing? I'm just going around the perimeter just to add a little bit of turquoise in there. Okay? That allows me to not get any ink on the other boxes. And it's when I made this card, I actually made all the stamped images before I cut them apart, made it very easy to stencil, and I just put Post-it notes on each segment so that I could do each background its own color. But that's not really necessary. If you're not worried about it, you could just try it this way. Just go around like I'm going around here. It's still going to look good. Okay. It's still going to catch the edges of the box next to it or on top of it or underneath it, which is fine. It just kind of accents the edges a little bit. Just giving you some tips and tricks as we go. But again, you know, the best thing to do is just try stuff. That's what I love to do. I love to just try stuff and see what happens. I think red flowers would be really pretty too. But I might do some purples in here. Now you could just lay the stencil on top if you want, but I'm actually going to use the masking magic because I really want it to be completely flush. So now that I've accented all of those boxes, I'm going to just pull this off and you can see they're all accented. How's that look, Tom? Can they see that pretty well?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good, good, good. Okay, so we're going to do some purples. And let me find my purple pads here. I think they're right over here. I hope. Well, there's one. There's light lilac. And let me find my other one. Sorry about this. I just had too much stuff on my space Here's dark lilac, and now I just need to find the medium one. I need another inks holder. I have so many inks. Okay, so here are the three colors we're going to use. We're going to use light lilac, medium lilac, and dark lilac. I am going to get my stencil out of here. I'm going to start with layer 1. Okay, so I want to make sure that I get as much of the flowers as I can in here. So flower on the top, not a whole lot here. Maybe I'll go off a little bit off the edge there like that, but I definitely want this to be here like this. So that's where I'm going to position it. But before I do that, I'm going to block off in between. So I'm going to use the 1/4 inch Masking Magic, and you can see that that is the perfect size to block off these areas. And you only have to break one apart. So after we get these two, just kind of cover up all that white. Then I'll just take one strip, and remember these are reusable, so you can use them again. I'm just going to cover that. Go off that side, and then go off this side here. I think it will be easier for me to actually line it up like this. There we go. Okay. Good. Now I'm going to place that stencil. Make sure it's in the same direction. So I like to use it, you can use it either way. There's no reason why you can't use stencils on both sides. But whichever way you start, you got to finish. They all have to be that way. So let's put that right here like that, and we'll tape this down. And then I'm going to use the light lilac color for my first layer. So I'm going to ink this up real well. And I'm going to add that light lilac in there. Lilac is a great color to use with blue. And you know, I always say the colors that you can't use with blue or with purple and stuff like that. Orange doesn't really translate very well, but you know what? I used orange on here against my better judgment, and it was just fine because that blue is so light behind there. So again, I'm using the light lilac. There we go. Not a terribly heavy hand. Okay, so now we've got that first color on there. Now we're going to switch to medium lilac. I love the lilacs. And did you guys see a lot of our ink just came back in? I don't know if it's all in stock yet or not. I know that we've been counting it and all of that, so it might not be back yet, but it came in, so that's a good sign. Now I'm just going to position that. Very easy to line up. My daughter Alicia did all these layers for me. I love these. Okay, so now we're going to go into the medium lilac. We're going to go ahead and get that in there. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay, and now I want to add a little bit of dark lilac. So I'm going to get my dark lilac here, and I'm going to get one of these tiny brushes, and I'm going to ink that up. Now I've got some dark lilac on there. And then I'm going to add that just under here, lightly bring it up. You can see I'm just deepening under there. That just allows you to add that little bit of dark shading. Now, I could add a little bit in here in the center just to really make it more vibrant. But that really allows you to have control in tiny areas. You're going to love the way these brushes feel in your hand too. Okay, so now we've got our beautiful florals there. Now I'm going to use the next layer, which is layer 3, and I'm going to pop that into place. Pretty easy to line up again. You can just take these. And I'm going to do this with more vibrant green. So let me get these out of the way. And I'm going to use Jelly Bean for my first green. Some Jelly Bean green here. You can hear me scrubbing on there. Doesn't it sound like sounds like a woodpecker, right? Okay. And we'll start here. The Jelly Bean. Get it nice and vibrant. And you can see I'm going right over that Masking Magic in the center, no problem at all. Nice, it's so flat up against there that it's going right up to the edge of each of those boxes. Holding everything tight here so it doesn't shift. That would be the worst, right? You know, I need to get my stencil mat out more. I just get started, and you know, I'm such an old school girl here. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to go around the outside. Okay, well, there we go. I forgot to put Masking Magic around the outside. But that's okay. We're just going to go with it. But that is something that you guys are definitely going to want to do, is put Masking Magic around the outside. But it's still going to look really pretty, so I'm going with it. Maybe you don't always have to do that. Okay, and now we're going to do the final layer here, and I love this little layer. I'm just going with it now because, you know, once you're in, you got to keep going with it. Good, I'm glad you guys are cool with it. So these are much tinier areas. So this might be a really good spot to use these smaller blending brushes. They're so detailed that you can use these mini ones, or you can use our small ones, either one. But I like how you could just get in there. I don't even think that's going on anything except the Masking Magic. We'll do another card like this with other layering stencils, and I'll show you how to use the Masking Magic around the perimeter. But I'm sure you guys get the idea. And you could even just leave that bigger stencil on top if you want to. But this might give it a really cool look. Sometimes these are happy accidents. Oh, I love these brushes. I got a little off here. I think I shifted that a little. That's all right. It's okay. Alrighty. So now I've got all my layers done, and let's peel away the boxes in between. Ooh. Yeah, I like this. I think it's cool. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Do you like the purples? I love the purples, and I actually don't mind that it went around the perimeter either. I think it's kind of cool that it went outside of the box there. But you don't have to do that, and to avoid that, just put some Masking Magic strips around the outside. Yeah, you're going to love the little brushes. I see some of you saying, I just ordered them. You're really going to love them. They are so much fun. Now we'll layer these two together, and I'm just going to wiggle this a little bit so that I don't tear it. I cut this out before our live tonight, and I'll tell you, I was moving fast. I just knew how much we had to share, and I didn't want to be here till midnight making you guys wait up with me, because I know you're all so kind and you stick around. And I love that. Thank you. Okay, so I think if I have some, I think a cool color would be Wild Wisteria. I think that would actually be a beautiful color for this card. What do you think? Ooh, look at the glow on that. So let's use Wild Wisteria as a card base. We'll just do a side fold right now, since my big paper cutter is way over there. So we'll just do a little side fold card. Oh, it's so vibrant, and it looks so nice with the lilacs. This is nice cardstock. This is one of the colors we brought back, and we brought it back in 100 pound, which is nice and good sturdy card base weight, but it also cuts it out beautifully for die cutting. And then before we do that, I'm going to do the stamping. So let me get my open little set here. You can see I already made some masks so that I could mask things off. I've been playing, guys. I have been playing hard with this stuff. And then we need our black ink pad and a stamping block, which is very scary. I'm going to do this and try not to mess it up. So what I like about how this stencil laid in here is it gives you this open space up here that you could put anything you want. So I think I'm going to put Spring Blessings up there. So it's always a good idea to have a scrap piece of paper out so that you can test your stamp before you stamp it live. Now, yeah, it's probably a better idea if I used my Misty for this, but I'm going old school. We're gonna do our best here, and I'm going old school. So let's ink this up a couple times. Remember acrylic blocks? The good old days. Looks good. I think I can do it. So let's see what we got here. I'm gonna ink it up. Oh my gosh. Can you all pray for me real quick? Hold your breath. Pray for me. Here we go. Okay. So we're going to stamp that right there. There we go. Woohoo! Okay, that's one. I am brave. I am living on the edge. I am flying without a net. But we did it. And I felt all your good wishes in there. And then we can add these other little things like First Class. We can add that in there. So let's, again, I always like to check it to make sure it's inky enough. Ooh, you see that? That would have been icky. Ooh. Got to do it a couple times until you know you've got it. Okay. I'm going to take a shot here. And we're going to put First Class right up here. There we go. We got First Class. And now we have to put Forever, because a forever stamp, right? But forever is also just really a sweet little sentiment too. So we'll check this one a couple times. That looks good. I'm not going to over check. I'll put this one down here. You guys are so sweet. There we go. We got Forever. And now those last ones, we're going to add some of the monetary stuff, you know, like the 2 cents, the 50 cents. We'll do 50 cents here because that's kind of the biggest one. Here we go. And then we'll check it. Looks good. Here we go. Okay. I know you're not supposed to rock your stamps, but when it comes to this, they're so small that if you just give them a tiny wiggle without making them jump, I think it helps. So, but practice. Don't do it the first time until you feel comfortable with it. All right, 10 cents. Okay, that's going here. Okay, and then that last little spot here, we got to fill that in. We'll put, let's put 5 cents. There is a 2 cents too. Alrighty. Check it. I like that one because it's just got the C. Okay, we did it. We decorated. Okay. Now we're going to pop that on that beautiful Wild Wisteria card base that was almost laying in my black Onyx ink pad. And this card, I got to make sure I don't have ink on me. Do you do that too? Like before you touch anything, you're like, all right, what's going to happen? Let's get some tape on the back of this. And let's put this one on. Oh, I love this one. I was a little worried that I wasn't going to love tonight's card as much as I loved my sample card, but I think I love it more. I don't know which one I love more. They're both so fun. Ah, that was super fun. All right, well, I don't know, Tom, what do you think? It was a busy night tonight, huh?
Woo!
How are you feeling?
I'm just having a ball watching tonight.
Well, this was so much fun. So, you have a banner that tells people where to shop, right? That they can find everybody. So, if you are new to Gina K Designs, this is our release party tonight. There is the website. You can head over to ginakdesigns.com and click into the What's New filter. There's a little filter on the go to the shop tab, and then you'll see a little filter. Click on the What's New filter, and all these products will come up, and they are all now available in our store. And don't forget that freebie for any order of $75 or more. And if you place a second order tonight, like maybe you already placed an order and you're like, oh gosh, I really should have gotten the kit. I didn't get the kit. I think I want it now. You can always ask for the alternative incentive set too, because there's a new one of those as well. We keep that one a secret, but it's fun. All right, everybody. Well, this was so much fun. I want to send out, first of all, Tom, come on in. A huge thank you to you tonight for working all the gears. I know release party night is quite a fiasco over there, isn't it? Getting all the videos all queued up and knowing when they start and stop, and it's not always easy. But you do it so well.
No problem.
Yeah.
It's what I'm here for.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And I want to thank all of our illustrators that joined us tonight. They did a phenomenal job of inspiring everyone. Now, Melanie and Lisa have inspiration sheets. You could find them in our Facebook group in the file section, but you can also find them on our website. So when you go to the product page, like Lisa's stamp set or Melanie's stamp set, one of the pictures will be the inspiration sheet, so you can get it right there as well. So there's just so much inspiration tonight. I'm sure you guys are all exhausted from seeing all of these samples and everything. We hope that you enjoyed it. We hope that you feel inspired, and we hope to have lots of fun crafting with you week after week after week using these brand new products. I'm going to be doing a lot with the new kit coming up. Thursday, I've already made a video. I have a pre-recorded video. I'm not going to be here in the studio, so I have a pre-recorded video for you featuring the brand new kit. I know you're going to love it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Wait till you see the color. I love the color of the card that I made, and I can't wait until you see it. And then Tom and I will be back next Tuesday night with another Stampin' Chat Live, and we'll be featuring the brand new All Things Spring, I always forget the name, All Things Spring card kit. Until then, everybody, thank you all so much for joining us and giving us these almost 2 hours. And stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much. Mwah. We'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.